Hey, welcome back to The Luxury Code, where we unpack with some of the best what they're doing. And wow, right now, people better be doing things differently. So today, Ann, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Coming in from Ventura, California. People would know Oxnard, Ventura, sort of coastal, kind of mid-California. And your coach, Marc, in the house, coming in from San Diego. One from the north, one from the south, I guess. Yes?
I've been in Sacramento for the last 9 months.
Oh, somebody moved and didn't tell me. All right, so Ann, literally, I mean, look, last year, your performance, $104 million, 66 transactions, and you're doing this in what I would actually call the stereotypical high-producing Tom Ferry method. One dominant senior agent, brilliant listing agent, handling both sides of the transaction, a part-time assistant, a transaction coordinator, and now you've snuck in a videographer and a marketing director. That's exactly, that makes my heart sing, because it means you're making a lot of money and you're keeping a lot of money. But that's not why we're on the show. We're on the show because people want to know, just like back in March of 2020, when it was all time for us to pivot, to adjust. So headlines are terrifying people. A lot of agents, especially in the high end, are like, I don't know what to do. They're pinging me like, I did $400 million in sales last year, but I feel like the whole world's falling apart. What do I need to do? They need reassurance. So we got your coach here and you on the spot. What are the 2 to 3 most important adjustments you made to your business, or what adjustments are you making right now to keep this momentum going?
Just honestly going back to basics, getting back to open houses, getting back to my database, calling my database daily, checking in with them.
How was that? Like, okay, so what do you mean getting back to open houses? Did you stop doing open houses?
Oh, totally. During the pandemic, nobody did open houses. But
Sure.
yeah, so just getting back to doing more, calling my database, telling them, I'm doing an open house at this address, stop by, come visit.
How could you possibly have time for that?
Oh, I have time for that.
So,
Yeah.
So have you made any adjustments with your schedule? And you obviously added a couple of new team members, so that either creates more demand of your time because you're onboarding people, but it ultimately gets you more freedom. So what are the adjustments you made to your calendar?
So I do have a marketing team now, so that freed up some time. I'm usually up by 6:30, at the office by 8:30, making calls, answering emails, text messages, just trying to wake people up. Or
right. Move the ball forward,
yes,
right?
Yes.
So Marc, what adjustments have you seen from, I mean, obviously she's right out of the gate. Hey, I'm back to doing open houses. I'm calling my database. And the truth is we just stopped right there and just said, just do that. Everybody's going to win. I mean, what is it, like 73% of all the listings are coming from our past clients in Sphere, and the vast majority of people, as I show you, aren't calling their database enough. What adjustments are you seeing or advising right now, Marc?
Well, for her, it's definitely about time management. It is going back to the basics. She built her entire practice initially on the beach because her specialty is all beachfront stuff in Oxnard.
Yeah.
And she built it all by open houses and getting to know the community, getting to know the neighbors.
Right.
She was like way ahead of schedule in terms of like a mega open house, so to speak, right?
Right.
So getting her back to that is one thing. And she took, I don't know, 3 listings yesterday. And if she looks at them, they all came from
Past clients.
Yeah, so it's really hammering her, just making sure that she's staying in the place that's going to pay her the best return for her time invested.
Right. So what are you saying to your, like, so you got these 3 listings yesterday. Congratulations.
Thank
but
you.
everyone listening knows that was probably something 9 months ago, 6 months ago, 3 months ago, that the fruition was yesterday. What were you doing back then? And how has the conversation changed at all with sellers on pricing in this environment? So what did you do back then, and how is the pricing different?
Pricing, you just have to be a little more aggressive now. Before, I feel my sellers were reaching for the sky. Just to be realistic, look at the comps and.
But okay, so I'm literally with my neighbor yesterday, and her home is for sale. And she says to me, I hear that prices are dropping. And I said, no, a lot of high-end sellers have tried to raise the bar on their price, and they've gone too far. So now they are reducing, but they're probably still not where they need to be to actually be at the comps.
Right.
What are you saying differently to educate sellers? Because everyone's going to say the same thing. Ann, I know what you're saying, but not my house.
Yes.
So what are you saying differently?
I'm just explaining to price it properly. It will sell in this market. Our prices aren't dropping.
Okay.
They're just adjusting to where they should have been.
Okay. But doesn't that make some sellers a little like, yeah, but not my house? Right? I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
it does, it
I mean,
does.
everyone else's baby is ugly, but my baby
baby.
is beautiful, and you should add a 0 to that price. So how do you, when you say you educate him and you explain it, how?
I just tell them I would love to be wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong.
Okay.
I would love to be wrong and get you $500,000 more, but you know, is it worth sitting on the market and then being a stale listing in 3 months?
Yeah. Yeah. How much, when you show up on a listing appointment, what do you bring with you?
I bring my listing packet, my past sales, a little bio,
What's inside your listing packet?
comps, kind of what I do, how I specialize, how I'm different from the other agents, and why they should hire me.
Okay. So do you find that your past clients, are they just taking that and saying, okay, yes, it's automatic, or are they interviewing other agents?
It depends. It depends on the client. I just went on a listing appointment and they told me they stalked me for a year. They
Yeah.
go, I'm not hiring anybody else. We're hiring you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's my marketing's paying off. It's working.
So you've been a client for a long time. So when you hear me say things like there's a very clear and obvious flight for consumers to quality, right? With your transaction count, 18 years in the business,
Right.
Are you seeing more of that, or am I off base when I say I think sellers are still going to be unrealistic and they want to list it at a higher price, and we've got to do more to combat that? I mean, you make it sound like it's just so easy. Like I just tell them, oh, I'd love to be wrong, but I'm not. So, I mean, if everyone's writing down the script, I'd love to be wrong, but I'm not. I mean, it can't be that simple, right?
Sometimes it is. Sometimes you just got to let them fall on their face. You just got to, okay, let's list it here and, you know.
Okay, Mark.
I
Fill in the blanks here, Mark. Fill in the blanks.
So she was in the beginning of the year. She was a little freaked out because we could kind of feel that shift coming on, right? And she was like, "Oh my gosh, everybody's kind of evaporated," which is really what caused her to step back into doing the basics again.
Right.
And just like in pricing, this is something we've all been talking about. And thank you for leading that conversation for all of us. It's having the courage and the skills to be able to just look them in the eye and say, "I'm a professional. You're paying me to tell you the truth,
Right.
even if I know you don't want to hear it."
Right.
And I think Ann has the ability to do that with a smile on her
smile,
face,
yeah.
whereas it comes, and she's got such a reputation, it comes across much more
Right.
digestible, I guess is
Yeah.
the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's why I was asking, like, what's inside the packet? Because if it's your track record, your experience,
Yeah.
you know, success leaves clues. So go back to where the listings came from. Did you call them? Did they call you?
The 3 I got yesterday,
yeah.
One called me.
Okay.
One I called him, and the other one we had been talking for probably the last month.
Okay. So kind of all, it
So
sounds like
kind
all
of
that,
a little bit of everything, yeah.
Like that typical sort of
Yeah.
inside of 90 days. They're
Yeah.
like, we've been thinking about it forever.
Yeah.
Hey, Ann.
One was like, let's keep it as a pocket listing. So I just called him. I'm like, look, this isn't the way to go. Let's just get it listed. Let's get it on the market and go for it.
And don't blow past that one so far
Right.
quickly, because we were talking about this prior to getting on air, and she was like, "Yeah, you know, he was talking about maybe down the road keeping the pocket," and she literally just said, "In your best interest, I need to tell you.
Yeah.
We need to
Yeah.
do this now."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is that? What is that? Because literally, I answered a question on Instagram like this morning. Someone was like, "I've got this high-end seller, and I want it to be listed, you know, active and have all the exposure, but the seller, you know, is like, no, I want to keep it as a pocket." And I'm like, "Look, my experience is that seller has a reason why they want it pocket. Maybe it's an exposure issue. Maybe they don't want the public to know, or they're just grossly misinformed." I'm like, so which one is it? Right? So what do you say to the seller that says, "I want to go pocket," when we know the data says it's going to sell for more and it's going to sell faster if it isn't? What do you say?
I pretty much tell them it's going to sell for more and put more eyes on it and let me market it and get more people through the door.
Yeah.
Try to get you more money.
And what if they're like, "Yeah, but like my house is really special and unique," or, you know, "I've got dead bodies in the basement I don't want anything to discover." You know what I mean? Or whatever, you know, whatever, like my jewelry box from, you know, my grandmother from 500 years ago. What do you do with that person? You know, I'm not saying they're difficult.
Right.
It's not an objection. It's a condition. For them, that's very real.
Right.
So what do you do to help that person, or do you?
Based on their concern. If it's the concern is people walking through the house, I let them know I'm going to handhold everybody through the house. If it's, you know, just basically depending on what their concern is.
Yeah, yeah. I see a look in your eyes right now that I know your sellers get. Don't go all smiley on me right now, because all of a sudden she was like,
I was closing you, Tom.
Piss off Ann. Got it. Okay, so go back to this thing around making your phone call. So Mark, let's do a little be honest here. Was Ann not calling her database?
What's a database?
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah,
Does Ann have a database?
She does. She has a great one, and she had been neglecting it for a long time. Face it, with the way the market had been, here's your listing presentation.
I know.
Right? How much you want, right?
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden, go back
Sure.
to the skill side and engaging,
Right.
engagement.
So was that a hard pill to swallow? I mean, you're like this rock star. You're
Really
making
hard.
millions of
I
dollars
love
a year, and all of a
texting.
sudden
I love
now,
emailing.
right.
I just have a hard time picking up the phone, but I'm getting over that.
I heard something recently because, obviously we're a very tech-enabled coaching
Yes,
company.
yes.
We want our clients to be tech-enabled, and we want video for as much as we can.
Yes.
But one of my coaches said to me recently, his client was like, I don't want to go see him face-to-face if I don't have to. And he's like, great, so why don't I just record my next coaching session and I'll send you the video.
Whoa.
And the client was like,
Yeah.
well, then I couldn't ask you any questions.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
We can't have that exchange.
Exactly.
So you got over that.
Yes.
Was it hard?
It's hard. It is hard, but you're right. They ask you the questions.
Right.
You know.
So what about the just discipline of like scheduling time to make phone calls? You're busy. You're understaffed for your performance. I'm busting.
No, I'm not-
busting your chops. I'm busting your chops.
That's a great question for her because we were talking about that.
Yeah.
And tell him what
No,
you said. I don't have a schedule, and then she went.
Oh, I kind of do. I work out at 6:30, home by 7:30, at
Oh,
the
that's not
office
a
by
schedule.
8:30.
That's not a schedule.
And then what are you doing when you get to the office?
And then I'm just answering emails or making calls or
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't-
prioritizing tasks
yeah.
and taking care of
Yeah,
business.
yeah.
What is it with luxury
running a
agents and like
business?
I don't have a schedule, but I do this and this and this and this and this every single day.
But that's
I'm
not a
like,
schedule.
Yeah.
That's just stuff.
I
I'm just
know.
managing my business.
I know.
All right, we're totally busting your chops.
I know
here.
you are.
This is
I
not
know
fair.
you are. I
You
know
can
you
punch
are.
your coach when this is over. So Ann, you started by saying I'm back to basics, open houses, right? Calling your database. Is there anything else? If someone listening right now and they hear us having a little fun and they're like, no, I'm kind of stressed right now. Like I need to get my business going. Is there a piece of advice that you would offer to that agent who could be sitting anywhere in the world and they're like, Ann, tell me what to do. What do I need to do to get to your level or beyond?
Honestly, when I first started, I did open houses, and I didn't do open houses for buyers. I did it every day of the week. I did it to meet the neighbors. I'd stand out in the driveway. I'd talk to everybody. We have it's a beach community.
Right.
They're riding their bikes. They're walking their dogs.
Yep.
Pet the dog. That's why I did open houses,
Yes.
to meet sellers.
So Andy C., who I'm sure you've met or seen inside our ecosystem, he said the same exact thing. Timmy Smith said, if you could hold an open house 7 days a week, hold it 7 days a week. I don't
Yeah.
care what the price point is.
Yeah.
You're gonna run into something.
Yeah.
Do you do anything beyond that? Would you recommend anything beyond that? So one is open houses, which I love.
Right.
What's the second move?
Well, I definitely market. I market. I picked a small community that when I first started that I could afford to market, and then I branched out, and now I probably 4,000 pieces.
Okay.
And you're gonna laugh because I do recipe cards.
I'm not gonna laugh. Do you like?
He laughed at me. He goes, "Please tell me no." But I go, everybody.
Right.
I swear, I probably hear it 5 times a week. Oh my God, I made that recipe.
They're like beef stroganoff.
And I told him, I go, I'm just trying to make it past the trash can.
Right.
That's my whole goal, to make it past the trash can. And I went on a listing appointment last
Yes.
week, and my recipe card was sitting up in their kitchen.
Right.
So they're looking at my name face.
And what was the price point of the listing?
1.2.
Okay,
So,
not too bad, not too shabby. All right, so
It's a $60,000 plus recipe card, isn't
right,
it?
that's a very expensive recipe.
I do it because
hope
it
the food was
works.
good. Well, and I think there's a key message for everybody here. It's running plays that work.
Yeah.
Right. And I know in talking with Mark, like what he's so proud of is that, you come across as this very joyful, elegant, fun agent, but you're a little ruthless. Like I could see like behind all that, when you gave me that look, I was like, oh shit, like, she's got a little intensity behind her. It's running plays that work.
Yeah.
So have you made any other adjustments with your buyers today?
With my buyers. I don't do a whole lot of buyers.
Okay. So is the adjustment you're going to start working some buyers maybe?
The adjustment is I refer them out.
Okay. And why is that?
Just because I don't have time.
Yeah. And how many listings will you take this year?
Hopefully 60.
Okay. That's a lot of listings, my dear, especially at your average sales price.
I have 11 right now.
I love it. We need to sell those quick, Mark.
Yeah,
Sometimes we have to start talking price reductions now.
Had a closing today. Yeah, we're
Had a
rolling
closing
on
today.
that constantly.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So-
Okay. So, Mark, what's the question that I haven't asked?
Ask her how she's doing on her video production, because she is very much attached to the fact that, oh my God, okay, I'm a latecomer. I got to surrender this though. And she's hired a videographer, so this is going to be a big step for her.
So, why'd you hire the videographer? Why even do video? You're wildly successful. What are you thinking?
Because he's making me.
We're just going to play that clip over and over and over.
Making me.
But you have to have something in you that's like, I have been so blessed. I think I'm at like 65,000 hours of coaching, and that doesn't include the millions of just Q&As and just
Right.
passing moments of just, hey, how's it
Right.
going and what are you working on, right? People like you and I, we don't do anything unless it's ultimately our idea. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So you can have your coach
Yes,
nagging in
yes.
your ear, but until you go, I'm going to do this. So
Right.
so why are you doing it?
No, honestly, the whole reason I told Mark, I just want to level up. I want to go to that next level with customer service, with everything I want. That's what I want to do. So
Love it.
I think video is going to put me there.
It's definitely going to streamline the process of FAQs and
Yeah.
Q&A regarding escrows, or here's where we're at with the listing launch. Like
Right.
some of those things that we can automate and do on video have proven to be super powerful.
Leaning in on her hard, as well as other client
Right.
coaching clients, about
Yes.
controlling the narrative, because people talk about the shift in the market, but the real shift in the market, it's always shifting, right? When the market was on fire doing this, it was shifting. If it's flat, it's shifting. If it's how do you manage and navigate through that? So turning her more into a value delivery,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
About information and how they can actually profit from
Yep.
what's going on,
Right.
and the sky is not falling.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Mark, thanks for making it happen. And so where are you going to finish this year? Since we'll document this on video.
Yeah, come on now, come on.
Before you even say, let me make a
Yeah.
comment to the listener right now.
Yes.
So I work with all these incredible CEOs, as you know, and every one of them, I basically said to them, look, we're all super competitive. We all want to beat last year. We all want to win the championship every single year.
Yes.
But the reality is, at least in the U.S., we'll probably do between 9 to 10% less transactions. That doesn't mean you.
Right.
That just means the country could see
Right.
9 to 10% less transactions. And if that's the case, what I tell people is just look back at what you did in 2019. If you beat 2019, the last normal year in real estate, you're winning.
Yeah.
You with me? Now, I'm not trying to lower your goals. Just listen very carefully here, people, especially not you. But so now, where are you going to finish? Are you going to beat last year?
I'm not. Last year was a phenomenal year.
Yes.
It was a
Yes.
stellar year. So
Yes. So what do you think?
if I come close, I'd be happy.
And listen, for the person listening, first of all, thank you for your honesty, right? Thank you, because I think it's not that we want to lower our expectations, but I see so many people beating themselves up right now because they're behind last year, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you won like 5 NBA championships last year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
think of every professional. You won 6 of them last
Yeah.
year, right? All in 1 year, which was a total anomaly. So we need to reset our expectations,
Right.
reevaluate what success is to us today, and be happy with it.
Yes.
You with me?
Yes.
Did you spend all the money? Did you save some?
Oh no, I saved a lot of
Okay.
money.
All
my
right.
goodness.
All right. That makes me even happier. Okay, good. All right. So I hope you got some value out of this conversation. Make sure, and what's the best way for them to follow you? Instagram, Facebook?
Instagram and By the Beach, BUI.
Yeah. Oh, by the beach.
And
B-U-I.
By the Beach.
Okay. I love that. And Mark, what's the best way for them to connect with you if they want to?
They can connect me with me on Facebook at Coach Marc Prestera.
And that's Mark with a C.
Yes, it is.
Yes, Mark with a C.
Prestera.
All right, so make sure you follow these two characters and ask lots of questions. Send some referrals her way as well. She's kind of ruthless. I can see it. You can probably see it too if you see this camera. All right, so thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much.
you.
Congratulations, you both. And we'll see you guys on the next show. Take care.